good morning, good morning, good morning. The This Morning headquarters is typically indoors, but I have taken the show on the road today. And I've always said, if I could do my show outside, I would be happy. So we're doing a little walk and talk. So whether you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, or you might be listening through your normal platform, I appreciate you stopping in. You know, if I'm going to be honest and transparent with you this morning, we're going to talk a little bit about transition. And we'll touch base on some Cincinnati things, daylight saving, of course. And there's a very good chance that you're going to hear elements of the outdoors. I could hear the birds chirping. I can certainly feel the breeze on my face. I can see the Beachmont park worker lying mulch down as we speak, so there's a chance that the audio quality of this is a little bit different than what you're used to, but I'm glad you're here. Before we get to any of the things that we're going to chit-chat about, I want to check in with you and see how you're doing, what's going on in your world. It was wonderful outside yesterday. Cincinnati woke up to spring. Thank God. Snow's melted, things are turning green. I haven't quite seen any buds yet on trees, but it was just a beautiful sunny day. I mean, I put the patio furniture out yesterday. Okay, the plants, I brought them outside, they were photosynthesizing. I almost could see them singing. Little breeze in that Monstera's hair, you know? She was living. I painted outside, it felt good. It was a really good day. Saturday was super rainy here, so I wonder if you had a chance to kind of shut down for the day. Unless you had like kid soccer or something, or you might be like my friend Ashley who has a new baby at home and a toddler, not quite the time to really shut down, but it was a quiet Saturday full of rain. I had a text message from like 3 of my girlfriends saying like, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to come out for Bockfest? And I declined. Had to. And I'll explain why here in a minute or two. But so checking in on you. Hopefully you're off to a good start of the week. This is a tough one because although America loves to tell women what they can and cannot do, and they somewhat found like footing on agreement with that, we as a country cannot decide whether or not we're going to keep or dismiss daylight saving. I mean, why are we still doing this? It is so jarring. In my life with a construction worker, like that alarm went off this morning, and I'm an early riser. I don't mind getting up early. My former home, I used to get up at 4 o'clock for my show every day. Never had a complaint about it. How could I? I was a single solo gal. You know, no family, no one else to take care of or worry about. So what? My alarm got me up early. And that's still the case now, but whew. Being partnered up with a blue-collar worker, there is no forgiveness in the construction world. So that alarm went off this morning. Could have been 4 a.m., could have been 5, could have been 6. I have no idea. But man, if you're feeling it, it actually might not hit you today. It's usually that like Tuesday, Wednesday of daylight saving that it starts to really kick in for me. But whew, it can be a little rough. So I'm thinking of you in this season of transition, which is kind of the subject of today's show. And I don't mean to hijack the conversation and make it about me, but I'm wondering if any of this relates to you. In this season of transition might be just the simple time of the year where we're coming from winter into spring. You might be a new mom like my best friend Ashley. You might be like me, somewhere in the midst of job loss. You also might be transitioning from having a relationship to out of one, or from dating someone into going more serious. That's the route I'm in as well. And I find myself deeply happy and deeply sad at the same time. So let's chit-chat about this weekend. Transparently, I recorded this episode like 2 times already this morning, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take it outside. Because it wasn't hitting what I wanted it to hit. And I thought maybe a change of scenery. I thought maybe putting myself out there and adding some video this time around, getting out in the elements would help kind of bring the conversation to life a little bit more. So I'm still not quite comfortable walking and talking next to people, so thank you for your patience with that. I'm getting used to it, because someday I might take this show on the road, like literally. So I think I had a lot of anticipation for this weekend, and it being my meet-iversary with my partner, and it being Bockfest, and like something I was super, super excited about, and just like so happy to do it. And I found myself, morning. I found myself sobbing the entire weekend. And I'm just a girl. Like, damn it. I hate that. And because I'm me and I'm super annoying sometimes, I realize that there's probably more to this conversation than me just being sad. So I figured we'd chit-chat about it. I find myself deeply happy and deeply sad at the same time because my life is in transition. But this time around with the transition, I can't really like circle a person's face on a picture in my mind. It's like a season. It's something I understand that I have to do. And I know it's a road I just have to walk down. But it's weekends like Bockfest that I was super, super excited for. And I had such a wonderful time. And I was so happy to be celebrating all of the goodness of Cincinnati. It's weekends like that kind of remind me of my old life. And it gives me a taste of who I once was, not that long ago, less than a year ago. And then I get so excited about it. And then it goes away and I become really sad about it. And so it's just the idea of transition. I get that. And when I say I'm deeply happy, I'm all those same feelings that I had during this like high vibration time of my life, the one that led me to my partner, right? Like imagine being so loved by a wonderful partner, having nothing but support from a community that you're gathering here in Cincinnati, girlfriends that I'm really close with. I have access to all of those same feelings. But the difference is I'm different. I'm growing, evolving, and changing. And a lot of that wasn't by choice or by my design. It was kind of given to me. And it's a road I just have to walk down, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't make me super sad sometimes. Good morning. You can hear the Beachmont worker walking by. Maybe I'll be a park ranger. Should I just work at the parks department this year? Is the Cincinnati Parks Department hiring? No, okay, so to get back on track here. For example, this weekend, I was really, really looking forward to Bockfest and hosting and guest judging this baby goat yelling competition, and my boyfriend's friends, like some of them flew in. Like it was just so alive and well and such a good time. And towards the end of the night, when it all came to a close, I found myself super sad. And a part of that is I know that when you're drinking, you don't have coping mechanisms, right? The ones that you work on in therapy or the ones that you get when you're in your 30s from wisdom, those kind of tend to go away a little bit more because you can't have like coping skills and alcohol at the same time. They don't go together. And so I find that I'm sure maybe if you're in your 30s, you're kind of toyed with, do I want to continue to drink? Do I not? And I think the answer is still like, I'm sober curious, but I'm still, having a good time. I haven't consumed much this year, and I think a lot of that is the season. But this necessarily isn't about drinking. It's what happens in this unstable part of my life if and when I do. And I didn't love that. That was the first time I really experienced, like, I was kind of embarrassed by it. I was embarrassed that such a good, fulfilling, fun, silly, high vibration night ended with me sobbing while taking my makeup off in the shower. And then continued for the entire next day. And I know I'm just a gal. And I'm not sure if I have a complete thought on this yet. I'm still kind of working through it. But I find that a lot of my good times, a lot of the ones that I'm like, yes, like I'm super looking forward to this, and I'm super happy, and I'm fulfilled, and I'm loved, are also have a thread of sadness. I wrote about this in my Substack, I think it might have been a week or two ago. We were playing a lot of board games when I was on vacation with my family, and it's like, you know, when you play Sorry, you're the yellow chip, right? And if you go around the board, sometimes you get sent back to start. And you're like, all right, I go back to start, right? But this time around, I felt like I started with yellow pieces, and then somehow during the game, I switched to red, and I'm in an unfamiliar territory on the Sorry board. And I just don't love that part of this transition. That's really hard for me. It's hard. It's hard to be like happy and fulfilled and then look at yourself in the mirror and be super uncomfortable with the way you look, right? Like physically. Anyone that's a woman knows when their cycle is off, it really throws. Mine's super off right now. So my cycle is off. The parts about my life that I once loved are not necessarily the same anymore. And it's like trading one with the other, and that's okay, right? But I'm just a little suspended in transition, and so I think that I feel like I look as if I'm filming a 90s music video. This is just what I wear every day now. No, I don't know if I have a complete thought on that, but I will say this weekend, Bockfest, if you were a part of the This Morning episodes last week, and maybe you haven't gotten caught up on them yet, you know, I was really looking forward to it, and I ended up really disappointed by it at the end of the night. And I was disappointed in myself. I was disappointed that I couldn't just, and I couldn't just this, and I couldn't just that, and I couldn't just be a different person. I couldn't have just done something, you know, I had regret on that front, and it was mine. It wasn't anyone else's. And it's mine, and it's not even something I can really circle on a photograph in my mind somewhere. It's like a mix of everything. It's transition, it's job loss, it's maybe something random that someone said about a job that they got. One that I was like, I thought I would have gotten that. You know, it's being like loved deeply, but not feeling like the person that one person fell in love with, right? And that's life. It's like full of unplanned transition. So I wanted to touch base on that with you, and maybe this is a good place to leave it. I know there were other things to catch up on. Yes, I saw Joe Burrow was playing poker with Jessica Alba, and that Britney Spears got arrested. God. Shia LaBeouf got arrested. Daylight saving. There was a fight in Cincinnati at a different music venue. All of that can be tabled for a discussion later or in my comments on Instagram. If you and I aren't connected yet, I'm at the Tiff, 2 F's, Potter like the Wizard. If any of the thought starters in this episode resonated with you, or maybe you have tips and advice on them, I would love to hear from you by messaging me or leaving me a voice note on Instagram. I'm at the Tiff, 2 F's, Potter like the Wizard. I know I already said it. And if this episode did anything for you, I would appreciate a follow, a subscribe, or maybe just send it off to a girlfriend that's in the same life transition. If you enjoyed the nature that I'm bringing to the show today, I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for inviting me into your life, into the places that you love. See, like that could be me. That could be me. It was just a man with a long gray ponytail and a high-vis jacket thriving at Anderson Beachmont. Like, I think he might have been emptying trash. I've never seen someone more happy in my life to empty trash than that retired man with the ponytail. But nonetheless, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thank you for inviting me into your life. And thank you for inviting me to the places that you love. I will continue to accept those invitations even in times of sadness. I had to turn down a few of them this weekend, but I'm trying. All right, I'll see you here tomorrow.